Well, first of all, I said that the summer isn't over until the Summer Cup.
Yeah.
First of all, this is the delineation. We don't look at the rotation of any planets
Yeah,
or
yeah.
anything like that. That's got nothing to do with it. It's not a science thing. It's a feel thing. And
Yeah.
yes, this is the longest running competitive event in SpyParty history. This is the 9th Summer Cup.
Yeah. Okay. So the 9th Summer Cup. Yeah, and we'll get into it. They've actually may or may not have already started playing, just to give a jump on the delay. We're gonna show off the draft here, if you call this a draft. I guess it is a draft.
It's the closest thing the Summer Cup has to a draft.
Yes, it is. Yeah, actually, that is true. So they have. Whoops, I goofed up a little bit there.
That's okay. Well, you call it a draft, but with that much alcohol in the middle, draft has a totally different meaning.
Yep. So this isn't quite accurate. So this is. All right. So here we go. All right, so this is, I believe, the draft. It's a bit awkward. There are 2 doubles hidden in here. They just they're I believe it was I don't even remember anymore.
OP doubles modern.
Yeah, modern
doubles Tan.
Yes.
I think.
And so so there are double. Those are both going to be doubled, but they're not showing up at the same time. They have 1 ban each, and then doubles. But then they pick.
Basically, we play every venue.
It's just every venue, and when that doubled venue shows up, it's played extra. And then overtime is just, as you can see, infinite balcony.
Good old infinite balcony.
Yep. All right.
Great for our stress levels.
Yep. Anyway, I think we're ready to go. That's all we need to know about the draft. It's just all the venues except Ballroom and Aquarium, which is
Let's
a little
get right
little
on
sad.
into this thing. We're going to start things off with Legorve Genine on the spy side of Pub versus the sniper of OpiWrites in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Let's unmute it.
Quick early flirt out at the front, 34% on the white test. It's a nice little start on 3 of 7 Pub.
Yeah, 3 of 7. That's one of the distinctions in SCL recently. We saw 3 of 6 with Inspect turned off. We've seen a lot of different variations to try to get Pub to where we all want it to be competitively, and I might not be there yet. There's still some disagreement about that, but I will say that 3-7 I think is one of the best versions we've found so far.
Certainly lets you slow down and take in the scenery as the spy, although this is a bit of an awkward position to do in it. We are just going to hang out here for a little while, wait for the timer flirt to come off, and keep a close eye on the party and who is doing what in the meantime. There's the second flirt, another white test to bring us up to 68%, and inside we go. It looks like out to the far statue to pick up an Inspect and a lot of suspicion.
I think these are statue highlights coming out here, it looks like, for the most part, and that's a big question. What are you going to use the highlights for on Pub? A lot of people use bar, some people use real contact, but with 3-7, those calculations are changed just a little bit.
It's a green swap as well. So the plan is to come out and finish this flirt and then just wait for the match to finish itself, however that winds up happening.
And the end of red.
Fake contact to try to distract from the swap. There's the flirt done. No one's taken the statue yet, though.
Oh, this delay could really, really help us. There's no one nearby. I think Ponytail's about to take it. Yep, not a low light, thankfully. This gives us a little chance. We're not watching this fade. This could be really interesting, but I think Opie's going to be on it. Legorve playing like Opie, frankly.
There's
there
the
it is.
zoom. There's the shot.
Missed shot.
But it's not the right one. Got caught out by the green test, and that is a huge start for Legorve Genine.
Between the choice of spy and the choice of mission and timing and everything, that actually looked like OpiWrites playing spy in any number of ways, and Legorve does it back the same way that Opie normally. And just there, that's all it takes. All it takes right there is not catching the timing on that swap when you just don't have much reason to look at it.
Absolutely. Into the next one with the OpiWrites on the spy this time in 3, 2, 1, playing it. And starting down with a shot like that is a rough way to open up a match.
It's very rough. It's very rough, especially because Opie, obviously a very good spy, but the strength of the sniper has historically been what's helped him win. Just one of the best snipers in the game.
Opie ducks into the time ad window to try to get a flirt of all things off the top of the game. Can't make it happen. Gets a bug on the way into conversation on the way out after the time ad too. That was really clean. Wrong arm on the way in, hidden behind Taft. That's a beautiful little bug and might be Opie's trip back into this game.
Wow, what an answer this would be if this holds up. But Legorve is a disciplined sniper. They could suspect that bug very strongly and still realize there's absolutely no reason to shoot yet. So just as casters,
Drink in the hand he was supposed to bug in too.
It's
the
pretty
wrong
tough.
One was the only way to do that, and it was beautiful. 51% off the first flirt here. This could be massive.
It could, but we just don't know yet. As casters, the tricky part is against a really good sniper here. You don't actually know how suspicious they are because they're willing to hold that shot until the first possible moment the spy could be done, and we have not yet reached that moment.
Yeah, still plenty of time left to work with 2 minutes on the clock. Legorve making the rounds, trying to keep an eye on everything, but the highlights are there, and Opie certainly is one of them.
Certainly is. He's going to try a timer flirt here, too, with Ponytail, who did him dirty on the last game by doing that green swap and took the bullet. A little more amenable this time. Suddenly an ally.
There's the cooldown. There's the flirt. Not the green test, though. It's 85% with a minute and a half to play. Still plenty of time, but now we have to figure out where that third mission is going to come from before we get the second one quite squared away.
I mean, the question is, are we going silent or are we going statueless, I think? And that's a genuine question, but with the double agent, Seek hanging out inside a lot and 1 minute left, you might have this decision made for you by the RNG.
Time ticks down over a minute as we head inside to the statue. This is the pivotal moment. Doesn't look like Legorve is super interested, but he knows he's got a lot of time to work with, even if he is going to shoot for this inspect. There it goes. There's the putback, takes the shot, and Legorve goes up 2-0 after the first venue.
Suspicious of the bug, and I don't know if that was hesitation or patience. There's a little bit of a laser move there, possibly just really not wanting to take that shot for the bug, possibly not sure it happened. But either way, it's the right shot, and both spies playing really good first games. But as you said, Legorve coming out swinging up 2-0, now going into Opie's double choice.
Well, this is a good place for Opie to start getting back into this thing, and we know he's good at playing from behind, so let's see what he's able to make of this from the sniper side of things against Legorve Genine's spy in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, of course, fell way behind 9-3 in the Winter Cup Finals against Iran and came all the way back. Probably the greatest competitive comeback in SpyParty history. But the Summer Cup, no such luck. OpiWrites has finished second 2 years in a row. First to Crazy Kaylee and then Death Tacticus, although he did exercise that particular demon against Death in the quarterfinals.
And with Crazy Kaylee out of the competitive scene for a little while now, this might be the season of OpiWrites.
It really might be. We might have a Winter and Summer Cup champion, identical, both OpiWrites. But again, this is their third attempt at it with 2 losses in the finals already, and now they're down 2 as well. And Legorve, I do not think is going to let up. It's not that much easier, if any, than the previous opponents he's had here.
Green flirt to 51%. I did see a twitch in there, which I'm not entirely sure where that came from or what the idea behind it was, but we do have that flirt getting ready to go.
And I know this choice, this doubling of Modern, a little bit of a surprise to Legorve, who confided in me before the match that they were really hoping that Opie would double Redwoods for them.
So 51% on the flirt and a delegate in pocket. Legorve, with a very slow character, not going right to a conversation, tells me that they're not planning on banking on this delegate coming off. But it's a slow start to the game, and with a very slow character, you can't always afford that on this venue.
Now, the fact that it's 4 rather than 5 makes this a little more viable, but it is a real cost, as you can see, walking all the way across the party. Just to get a flirt, everything takes much longer.
Doesn't hit the green test either. That could be rough with this character. Under 2.5 minutes to play, and all we have is 85% on this flirt and a delegate that is probably not going to be taken at this point.
I think the real thing for Opie is you need to keep playing your game. You can't care so much that you've fallen behind 2-0. You can't think, oh God, it's happening again, or anything like that. You've just got to stick with it.
So this is interesting. Sends the seduction target to specifically the bar with the delegate, with full knowledge that that delegate was never going to come off.
Yes. Well, I thought it might be to kind of chase them to flirt, although that'd be difficult with the slowest character, or one of the slowest characters, against one of the absolute fastest. But it could be trying to frame our seduction target in just a moment. And given the mission progress, it sure seems like we're all in on something like a frame. So don't be surprised if we're trying to get Ponytail shot again.
Absolutely. Minute and 30 on the clock. We're going to step in next to Ponytail here, probably wait for her to talk, and then immediately bail to the bar. There's the flirt getting finished up, just in case we need a little bit of extra progress. Ponytail does start talking there.
Banana bread.
I think
No run
yeah,
to
there
the
it is.
bar out of it.
We wanted the flirt
Here's
first.
the
We wanted
banana
the flirt
split.
first. That's the key.
This is probably looking for the frame here. All right. Pivotal moment of the game. We're just going to swipe this list straight up and hope Ponytails get shot. There's the swipe. Has Opie noticed it yet? Lots of
We're
low
reacting.
lights
Yep,
coming
here come
out,
the
so
lights. They've definitely noticed. They've definitely noticed, but they're not sure who it is. The mind games of trying to frame the person that already got Civ shot in the previous game. And look at this. We're doing the briefcase. I think we're really trying to get the other character shot. But Ponytail apparently is going to have to do at least one more thing.
So it would seem 30 seconds. This hasn't quite worked out for Legorve as of yet.
Banana bread.
I think it looks like they're just going to try to finish.
Oh,
There's
hang
the
on. That's a real
coming
contact
off.
for the
Ponytail's
spy, but that would have
still
been
in.
that would have been a fake for Ponytail, though. There's no reason. That's not going to do the shot because there's no SDA in with Ponytail. That's what Legorve was hoping for.
It's gonna be a bug. This has gone so
This is not gonna
hard.
work.
The bug comes off. It was a beautiful bug, but the path just too suspicious. You don't need to see the arm in a case like that to fire that shot and open it.
The key there is that there was no SDA in with Ponytail for the fake or the real later. That was the maneuver. Hope with the several people in that conversation that one of them is an SDA. When they weren't, there was no reason to take the shot, forcing the bug. That does it. That was it. Just banking on an SDA being in there, and they weren't. I think we're having some technical difficulties. Taboshi, are you with us still?
Yeah. Tobo, you if you're still here, you rebounded out quite a bit.
I think we might have lost them there. We're going to try to sort this out. Just bear with us for just a moment. It is 2-1 Legorve now. That is Opie's first win. If we do lose them for a little bit, I can cast the next couple games myself. We'll see what happens.
All right.
All right. Taboshi, if you can hear us, we cannot hear you. I think we should proceed for the moment. Maybe a reconnect would do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess that's a computer crash probably. So let's give them I think we should continue and see if they're back. I think probably internet went down, so let's continue and see if they come back in a minute.
All right. Yeah, we'll just get going. I'm ready to go when you are.
All right. Counting it in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Taboshi sounds like they're on their way back. This is going to be OpiWrites playing as Salmon now on Modern with a chance to tie this back up. Taboshi should be here in just a moment. And there's an immediate shot for an immediate bug from Opie. And just like that, Legorve maintains their lead 3-1, making it mentally very easy. You can see the hand is very visible, and Legorve knows so well that Opie not only likes bugs, but really likes him in a time of chaos like that, even on a big venue like Modern. Legorve is all over that.
Oh man, I wish I saw that.
I didn't yell for you, but I got pretty excited. Don't worry.
OpiWrites, more like Opie Bugs, right?
I think we've each made that joke by
Yes.
now, right? Like, I think
I've
we've
probably
all
done it before. Yeah,
We've all done it at least
There's
once.
a good chance. I mean, it fits so well though.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Well, I guess let's just get right to the next one then. It's Legorve is the spy now, and remember this is doubled, so we got 2 more on Modern here.
Mm-hmm.
I think I am a game ahead, so you guys might have to cast this one.
All right, we've got Legorve as the spy playing as Buns. In 3, 2, 1, playing it. Tobo, just follow my voice. I'll be as evocative as I can. Just try to imagine it all. It's time of chaos. The ambassador is nowhere near the spy, although OpiWrites, as you can imagine, is zooming in on them anyway, just to make sure, in case Legorve tries to do exactly what they just did and just got shot for. Legorve has joined with the double agent, but is not especially close to the seduction target. We're near. I guess we are. Okay, my mistake. Misread the arrow, 51%. See, this is what happens when you throw me into play-by-play when I thought I was doing color commentary, Tobo. I'm lost without you. Lost without you. Okay, 51% on the flirt.
Streaming to Discord, so I should be okay.
Yeah, you could technically watch that.
All yours. Take it over.
So a little bit of a slow start. 51% is not a bad start at all, but a little bit more time taken than you would normally like to see. Out we go to the green bookcase to see if we can get something going here.
And there is a lot of activity at bars, a lot of activity at statues here. 3 different people at bookshelves. This is a decent time to try to get something by, but OpiWrites is definitely taking the long angle. There's a green microfilm. While Opie is zooming in on the ambassador, which I think makes sense. The ambassador's moving, they're vulnerable, and Legorve knows that he's going to have a lot of attention on that amba.
Very well off camera. It's nice to have microfilm in pocket because that is one of the more difficult situations to guard on this venue because there's so much to look at over such a wide area. But Legorve winds up after in a conversation that they don't have much play in. Ambassador almost looks like they wanted to get bugged for a second on the way by, but doesn't wind up happening, and out we go to the conversation with the double agent.
Yeah, the ambassador at bar again looking very thirsty. The seduction target not as much, not really sidling up to us. Legorve, by the way, that green microfilm at green shelves, the interesting thing is usually that's the easiest one to get by because of that full conversation in front, but in this time Opie had the long angle so that advantage was gone actually, but they timed it with the ambassador's movement so well it didn't matter.
Ducking out for a quick flirt at windows. It's a close white test to bring us up to 85%. We have had a lot of trouble hitting these 2 flirts from both players tonight.
That's surprising because both of them have very strong green rates in general.
Blue bookcase we go, looking to try to set up finishing off this microfilm with just under 2 minutes to play. Do we take this out, go for the flirt, and then do it on the comeback?
That might be it. I don't know. If we feel that we're being watched, and yes, look at that. Opie had the angle because they had a perfect little through line where they could see the amba out front and Legorve at bookshelves simultaneously. That was very nice.
So out we go to finish up this flirt. We don't have to bring this book back right away. We don't have to be too quick about it, but we can't use that hand while the book is in it. So there's the flirt done. Very cheeky attempt at the microfilm. Winds up having to bail on it.
Oh, Opie totally saw that. Saw the end of it.
Opie gets a good look at it. The shot comes off, and a lot of cheek coming off from Legorve, but does not pay him off this time.
A lot of cheek, or changing just a couple letters. A lot of cheese, too, for that matter. We were really going all in on that, and I can kind of see it because I mentioned earlier that Opie had that long angle on Modern. I think he takes that more often than the standard kind of 3/4, 2/3 angle that most snipers like to take, kind of lining up with the corner of the venue. Opie's more willing to take that long angle, which actually made him more vulnerable to this particular maneuver, but it just did not happen clean the first time or quickly enough.
Back to Opie on the spy side, this time as Kane versus Legorve, Genine's sniper, in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Opie still looking for that spy win to come back even after losing those first 2 pub games.
Doesn't get the start he wants either. Was looking to try to get the early flirt, but seduction target did not want to settle. Tries again. Doesn't come off again, and away we go to statues, it looks like, after being shunned twice in a row.
Yeah, don't want to settle down for that matter, which, you know, makes sense when you think about it contextually.
Red inspect is not something you usually see, but it's painfully slow, so we are definitely going to have to 2-cycle this at the statues for the pair of inspects, even for the single inspect in that situation, but inspects, we do wind up grabbing, maybe get a difficult on the fingerprint? We do get a difficult on the fingerprint off of this briefcase. So that could be a big out later on as we step in for our first flirt.
I'm not sure if we were trying to cheese that a little bit, because I feel like the second we put it down, we walked away very quickly. I think we were maybe trying not to be totally noticed doing that.
White test at a distance gives us 27% on the first flirt. Double agent drops in to say hi almost, actually just walks right by. That could have been quite useful if he actually joined the conversation like we had hoped.
Yeah, certainly could be, and this is Opie giving themselves options. Inspects are partially done, Seduce about a quarter of the way done, Fingerprint half done, and it's a difficult, and we might not have been caught doing it. A lot of ways to finish here, a lot of ways you can string things together.
Progress is always nice to have. Out we go to the bar for the second flirt. It's another white test though, 57% is where we stand, so if we get a reasonably close green, that will be enough as we step away with, oh my god! That's basically a walking delegate. That is a huge move.
If this works, Opie could knot this up, but Legorve has been on point today.
Does hit the green test on the third flirt, sorry, so that's flirt done. Oh man, it's all about this purloin. There's the take. Immediately gets highlight.
Ooh, there's a low light with Salmon, and this is very tentative looking from Legorve. I don't know if there's a lot of confidence. A little wiggle of the camera. Is that an excited wiggle or a frustrated one?
Judging by the lights situation, I would guess a frustrated one. This is big time from Opie. That was a huge play. Back into the statues we go to finish up this inspect. And then it's just one fingerprint to finish it. The shot comes off, and Opie has tied things up at 3.
That was going to be such a strong finish. It was going to be a silent Modern game. He tried it on pub and got shot for the bug, inspect, flirt finish. Silent on pub, not too crazy. Silent on Modern, much, much rarer, but he was going to get there anyway. And Legorve just takes what you have to admit is a desperate, I don't know who could have purloined kind of shot. Anyone who looks like they're finishing inspects near the end of that game and hasn't been ruled out already is good enough for them just based on Opie's general tendency to get to mission win countdown. It was just the purloin, totally clean, not suspected for it at all, and he's tied the match.
An absolutely brilliant move on the purloin as well. Back level we go into high rise 3 of 6 as Opie steps into the sniper side versus Legorve Genine Spy, in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And look at this mission setup. Microfilm off, not a big surprise there. Fingerprint as well.
Sometimes, if the ambassador is particularly feisty for a game, you can get some really crazy amounts of AI getting fingerprints, but you have quite a lot of options when you turn it off as well.
Yeah, that's rare. Sometimes the ambassador will basically hand you, no pun intended, a free civ shot with how many fingerprints they're leaving around. But it's not common. Generally speaking, even having that swap option at the end in the far right, forcing the sniper to divide their attention in the waiting seconds of the game sometimes, that can be reason enough. And definitely you want purloin on, because like bug, it's something you'd rush at the end.
First flirt is green, but at a distance gives us 38% on the first flirt. Got plenty of time on this venue, still 2 minutes and 10 to play, and it's just a 3 of, so you've got time to make things happen in this venue, which is why someone might be willing to take a very, very distant timer flirt, I suppose.
Yeah, I suppose so, and we have a highlight too, and it's not clear from looking at the replay exactly what it was for.
Fake contact into a green flirt brings us up to 77% there after 2 greens, by the way.
That's very strange, but hey, that AT rate can work in lots of ways. It's not just for 2 flirts. It's for getting close to finishing flirts without standing next to your seduction target, which on a setup like this can matter a lot, because even people who don't normally flirt pair, even out-and-out campers, are going to notice some of those pairings on a venue like High Rise.
And this is one of those rare situations where the green bookcase is purely a losing heat location with transfer microfilm disabled and no prints at the location. Back into conversation we go with the seduction target to try to get this flirt done, and indeed we do. That's our first mission completion with 1 minute to play.
Yeah, it's our first mission completion, but there are just so many ways to finish late here.
And
You
the
still
end of
contact Purloin.
Oh,
That's
dear.
a cough instead.
Oh dear.
I think we were trying to green Purloin, do something really quick in succession like that, and we just missed it and made it way too easy for Opie. There were still a lot of ways to finish, though.
That's sad.
Yep, little upsetting. I would say Opie's still in pretty good control of that game. It's going to be hard to get things by them at that point. We didn't have any partial progress anywhere else, and we did have that early highlight for some reason, which is very ominous if you're Legorve and you look at that replay.
Sometimes you die because you cough, but OpiWrites does find a way through, finds himself in the lead, and on the spy side of High Rise 3 of 6 versus Legorve Genine's Sniper in 3, 2, 1, playing it. This is not the venue where you usually see Smallman, but Smallman can most certainly do some Smallman things.
Yeah, certainly. By the way, same mission setup, though. We're wasting time at bookshelves because microfilm is still off and fingerprint again. So these two of like minds about the best mission setup on High Rise.
Shenanigans, immediately walking away from the first flirt is not something you can usually do on a venue with this small. But when you are effectively invisible sometimes, when you're behind people, you can get away with stuff like that. It's 33% on the first flirt and basically no time used to do it. Back to the blue bookcase for more losing heat, I suppose. And just hiding behind this plant because we're small.
I mean, I guess we're just trying to lay really, really low. And I don't know. I don't think we can be low light fishing here. I don't think that's going to happen on High Rise.
Agreed. Into conversation,
And the end of red.
we go with the double agent. The contact comes off on a very quick green. And one low light is all that Legorve was able to get from it. There's the second flirt coming off, brings us up to 81% on a relatively close green. Plenty of time on the clock.
Yeah, plenty. More than enough here. 100 seconds left. Flirt's nearly done. The contact's done. So many options here. I think we could just wait for the good Purloin option or the good bug or whatever. And those Purloins, in particular on High Rise, the sniper can be watching for them completely, and sometimes they're just not visible at all with all those people standing in that front conversation.
Back into conversation one more time to finish up this flirt. Immediately walks away from it. Immediately bugs. Immediately goes
Legorve's
back.
looking for an angle. He's looking for a shot angle. We're
Ladies
dancing.
and gentlemen,
We're
small
dancing.
things, but gives himself away a little bit on the outside. Legorve Genine is able to find the shot and keep it level at 4.
Now we see what the strategy almost certainly was. Lay low, maybe you get a low light, maybe you don't, but you're not suspicious at all until you bug into dance at the end. It's a pretty valiant little effort, but Legorve suspected it immediately, and OpiWrites only had to give them one little moment to lock on, and they absolutely did. Cheesy, worth a try, but Legorve says no cheese.
Yeah, just let himself be a little bit too exposed on the outside of the conversation. But Legorve Genine keeps things level and steps into the spy side of Redwood's 4 of 8 in 3, 2, 1, playing it. As Cowboy, unusually.
And I want to see what Legorve's going to do here. They said earlier, they told me before the match that they wanted Opie to double Redwoods. It didn't happen because they had a little something in store for them.
That's certainly going to be interesting. Especially coming from someone who's not super known for crazy spy stuff.
No, they're not. But keep in mind, Legorve has already made 2 frame attempts, and they're 1 for 2 on them. And they could have been 2 for 2 if maybe an SDA had been in with Ponytail that second time on Modern. So look out for maybe a 3rd frame attempt here.
Absolutely. Here's the first flirt coming off. A nice, quick, close green for 51%. The conversation's starting to very much fill up. Double Agent drops in to say hi as well.
Just popping in to say hi. Oh, hey, what's up? Have you seen my briefcase?
I'm pretty sure I left my banana bread in it.
Banana bread.
That sounds kind of gross.
Oh, look, there it is. It actually happened.
Oh, goodness. Does banana bread hold up well? Is it a hearty bread, would you say? I guess better than just plain bread, probably.
I mean, it's probably wrapped,
Banana
right?
bread's usually a little bit cakey.
Yeah.
I would assume
probably
it's
wrapped.
not just loose in the briefcase.
I hope not.
Either
Loose
way,
banana bread is the worst.
one low light from the contact and picking up a briefcase that I don't believe has any sort of
Baked goods in it?
fingerprint on it, is what
Oh,
I was
that too.
going to say. But
My mistake. Oh, it doesn't matter.
just a bullet. So,
Okay.
What?
Yeah. Well, he said he had something in store, but I don't see what it could have been here. I don't see it.
Yeah, not in this case. Opie saw something that the rest of us did not, and it spooked them enough to take a shot. Legorve almost gets a free one there and finds himself back in the lead as Opie tries to step into the spy side.
There
to
seems
get
to be
that
a
game
suspected
back.
bug going on.
Probably. Yeah.
That was the path right there that Opie was
Alright.
following.
Oh yeah, that's very much a double walking bug sort of path, especially with the trees in the way. You can't get a good look at it. A very understandable shot. The party giveth, and the party taketh away as Opie steps into the spy side in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
That's a pretty jumpy shot, and I guess now we'll never know what Legorve had planned because, again, not doubled here.
Indeed. OpiWrites not doing anything crazy on the start of the game, as he is occasionally wont to do.
Yeah, well, getting caught on that chaos bug, that will make you pump the brakes a little bit.
Out we go to have a chat with the double agent real quick after picking up basically a free inspect off of the green bookcase side.
I mean, a lot of simple things are pretty much free on Redwoods.
That wasn't, though!
Wow. I mean, it looks like they interrupted them, and I don't see it. What is this?
I think it was bookcase cheese. I think he was very suspicious for the bookcase cheese and was just waiting for confirmation.
Jeez. I mean, but what was the confirmation?
I don't know. I'm not good at etiquette.
I can't even tell. Wow. Just really aggressive. I mean, I would say both of those shots kind of aggressive.
Some
'Cause
people are
in both cases, there's no
terrified.
way they're done.
Yeah, but that is a significant lead for Legorve Genine up a venue at this point, heading into Terrace. It's 6-4, and Legorve is on the spy side in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Wow. I mean, look, you can say there's some mental benefit to catching someone immediately. Certainly.
Especially in
these are-
match play.
Especially in match play, but these are seasoned veterans of SpyParty, so I have to imagine that the benefits there of nailing someone real early are marginal compared to your average player.
Indeed. 30% on the first flirt at bar here, and we were unfortunately fourth in line, so we're going to be here a little while. Picking up a quick delegate, and 30% is not in 3 flirt range unless you hit a green somewhere.
And Terrace is all about the coin flips, all about the tech, all about finding good bugs, shooting for suspected bugs you didn't actually see, things like that. The range of things you can get away with against a good sniper is actually quite small, and very often you're just relying on them to make an error.
And very interesting double agent situation as well. One of the few maps with a known double agent. The
Yes,
only map with a known double agent.
It means that as often as not at high levels, we get 2 contacts to maximize the number of people who could have a real contact.
Here comes the first one.
Banana bread.
Luckily it was white, so the twin winds up back in conversation by the time the contact takes. That split is going to split the party in half for now.
This is pretty standard for Terrace, but normally you'll see a second one to get a few more glowing people in there.
Especially since the seduction target's over there. Into conversation with the seduction target now. Double Agent drops in to say hi as well, but the conversations have basically flipped entirely.
Banana bread.
Here's
And
the
that makes it
the
perfect
fake
for this.
contact coming off, and a red test flirt.
Oh my, and look at this. We're changing the highlights around a little bit, maybe looking for a little arbitrage about people who have switched conversations, who would have a real relative to before. It's becoming a little opaque to me, though, whatever Opie's doing, but you can vary your highlight strategies on Terrace quite a bit because you can do rote memorization for a lot of stuff here if you want.
Section target drops back in to say hi, but it's across the conversation. And we're not able to hit the green test from it, so it's going to be 47% on the flirt, which is not in 3 flirt range, even if you do close green.
30 seconds
Back
left going
out
to bar.
To bar we go. It's going to be another delegate. The beep beeps have begun. Time is starting to tick away, and Legorve has to get a move on. It's going to be sending Smallman to the bar, maybe?
I hope not. He's a
15
low light.
seconds.
We can't get to countdown either, though, with 47 seconds. Sorry,
Unless we do
47%
some
rather.
crazy bug shenaniganry. There's the delegate. 5 seconds.
There's nothing. There's nothing you
3
can do.
seconds.
We're not going to get there.
Here goes the bug. Does it take? It does take, but there's no way that doesn't get shot. OpiWrites is well on top of things and brings this match back within 1.
Right on the sash. I just think we got started way too late there. We went to bar with about 30 seconds left. I don't think that's late enough to make any of this work, even if it went better than it did.
Absolutely agree. OpiWrites on the spy now with a chance to tie things up once more in 3, 2, 1, playing it. But man, we have had some serious back and forth on the scoreline tonight.
We have, and I think after that back, there's going to be a little more fourth here. If OpiWrites is going to come back as Spy, it's not as likely to be on Terrace. Of course, Caster's Curse, now that I've said that, it'll probably happen. There's a white test time ad, though, and it's not a venue you'd normally expect the sniper to be watching for it. More likely to be watching for that bug, Legorve is, and that seems to be the case based on this
Was watching for it, though. Party down to 3.
Wow. Well, so the one benefit of zooming in on that ambassador is that you recognize the people right around them, and you actually can go, well, you know what? I know they didn't do it because I was watching them next to the ambassador this whole time. That is real presence of mind from Legorve to watch for something so atypical there. And Opie, just like that already. You know, might as well, though, because your chances of winning on Terrace straight are pretty low against someone like Legorve anyway.
Absolutely. And the highlight with this is not looking good. There's the flirt. It is green. It is 51%, but I do not see a world where Opie is permitted to finish missions here. That's a bug, and that's a death.
Yep, and just hold serve on Terrace exactly as expected. I think Opie said, might as well try something. If I do come back, if and when I do get that spy win, it's probably going to be on one of the upcoming venues instead, like this one.
Indeed. This one being freaking Balcony, which is often known as a bit of a coin flip venue, which is doing it a bit of a disservice, but it is a very 50-50 sort of venue. It's 2 of 3. It's very small. It's going to be a good time in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
I mean, it can't be like a coin flip. Coin flips at least feel fair. Coin flips never make you furious. Let's put it that way.
Not a great start here. You really, really want to be able to pick up an early flirt on Balcony, so it's going to be a bit of a tough game for Legorve Genine.
Bug is on.
Purloin is on,
Purloin is
though.
on. Yep. I like it. I like it. If you get a green chain here, you force Opie into a very difficult shot.
Too, which is not something spies will commonly do. Gets a low light for it too, off of
It
high
works.
quality
I mean,
return.
look. The low light benefit is a lot stronger if you're going to bug with it than Purloin, because you can easily be brought back up here. It's balcony. You're still super visible, but it's something. It's something. It's not bad. And if we get a reject from Seek here, don't be surprised if Legorve jumps on this. Nope, it's not going to be a reject.
51% on the flirt with 50 seconds to play. You can also, there's some crazy mind games you can do here. You can turn on Purloin, hoping your opponent will notice and then not
There's
do
the
it.
reject. Reject from Duke, who gets low lit for it. I think we're using these as a memorization tool. I think maybe he's tracking things because he low lit Duke for a drink reject there.
Yeah, I think you may well be right. There's the contact.
I mean, you just finished flirt. The Purloin's just there as a distraction, maybe.
And he's got to get closer.
He's got to leave and come back.
51%. He's going to step out. He might be betting this all on a green test.
I mean, I like it. No, it doesn't matter.
The shot comes off, and Legorve widens their lead.
Wow. Wow, that's a really, really big win because balcony is one of the places I think Opie's thinking this is where I can come back and now needs the spy win just to keep pace. That is a huge, huge shot.
Oh my. All right, so OpiWrites suddenly in a much more difficult position than they ever thought, going into balcony of all places in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Needs this bad, and the one virtue here of this character, the one with the pencil-thin mustache, Walt, some people call him, Andrew Ryan, Disney, whatever. One of the benefits is that he has a very fast-talking animation.
Into conversation. Double agent is in, but once again, seduction target is not, and when they do enter, it's not in a very useful position. No flirt as of yet, which is very bold on a venue like balcony where you have so little time.
But it's the same mission setup, by the way.
Either.
Purloin is on, too. That might factor into that calculation a little bit.
No bug, no fingerprint.
That's a pretty good cancel from Opie there. I don't know if it's good enough to fetch a low light from Legorve, but valiant effort.
Indeed, indeed. Under 1 minute and no progress from Opie.
I mean, I think the plan is low light fish, lay low, and then just get in on a chain, and if you have to do a 50-50, it's not going to be you. Is the idea.
I think that is very true. There's the contact coming off. 2 highlights, both for real.
Oh, it's a white.
There's the Purloin. It is a white. It is a shot. And Genine up 4.
That's absolutely huge. Sweeping balcony here puts this definitely not out of reach by any stretch of the imagination. We've seen OpiWrites come back, but Legorve is playing very, very well right now. Balcony just huge there. The plan, I think we had it right. Lay low, contact into green Purloin and just say, well, this other person's been more suspicious, but you hit the white and you get such a good view too. It's not around the back of the venue or anything. That just made it way, way too easy for Legorve, much like that early bug did. A couple of these wins for Legorve have just been very easy mentally.
Remember, 9 to 5, it's 14 points needed to secure a win, I believe. Tied at 13 is where you get infinite balcony as overtime, but Opie now has some serious catching up to do, and Courtyard is not necessarily the place you want to need to make a comeback on. Let's see if he's able to get something started here in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
I can't remember last time we saw a white fade that clear or obvious that the sniper was looking right at. It was just so easy. But if the last time we did see it, it was probably on this venue, Courtyard.
Yeah. It is so hard to get away with Purloins on Courtyard. 49% on the first flirt on a pretty close green. That is still in 2 flirt range if you get real snuggly for the second, but you're not going to be able to timer flirt and still finish in 2. And indeed does wind up stepping away out to the conversation with the double agent. That's a pretty good time for it. Lots of activity in conversations. Here's the contact coming off. A couple of people leave before the white can wind up finishing. So it's 3 lowlights.
That's, yeah, that's about right. Courtyard, I would say. It's a pretty good, maybe very slightly above average contact on Courtyard.
Not the fastest start, though. Under 2 minutes to play now. Hasn't been to statues yet, but you don't necessarily expect that super early on.
No, and we're seeing Legorve leaning really hard into things like frames and mind games and things like that, not trying to finish quite as often because I think they realize when Opie's playing well as sniper, it's just really hard to get mission wins by. You're much more likely to zone in on a suspicious AI, aid them a little bit in that suspicion, and hope for a civ shot. And with playing with a bit of a lead, you can afford to take those sort of all or nothing chances because Opie cannot afford to keep giving up sniper games.
It's a white test on the second flirt to bring us up to 83%. The worst possible flirt you can get is 17, and that is still good enough to finish this up. So your positioning from here on out does not matter in relation to your seduction target. 1 minute to play. Haven't been to statues yet. Aren't done the flirt yet. No indication of what this last mission might be either, so a bit of a difficult situation clockwise.
That is a bug path with no bug. That is gutsy.
Very much so.
This only happens at the highest levels, where you do something like that, having full confidence that Opie's going to say, nope, not a bug.
That turnaround, though, really helped make it clear that it wasn't a bug. Fake contact in conversation with the real double agent is not something you usually see, but there you go. 15 seconds to play. It's going to be a briefcase grab coming out the end. This is...
What's the plan here? What is the plan here? How do you finish? Why are we doing this briefcase?
I don't know. Plan is, I guess, look like an AI and hope Opie shoots someone when we try to green time at the end. Oh, I think he green time at it a little bit too early.
And a green purloin right afterwards, and Opie's all over this. Opie is all over this. He's got it narrowed down from the time ad, and only one of them did a drink reject, and a low light is about to take the list.
Low light takes, list is gone, shot comes off. Opie gets himself back in on the sniper side of Courtyard, but that is the one you expect to win. Next one's going to be the test.
Yep, let's get into it. I can't wait to see. Opie needs this.
Opie on the spy side in a difficult situation in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
If it's a cup finals, you know Opie's in a difficult situation. Maybe they pull it out, maybe they don't, but it's been a theme.
I want to see Opie go fast here. I want to see Opie take it to Legorve Genine and do something he's not going to inspect. But Opie is very much not doing that. Opie was not really given anything early on with which to rush off of, so he's going to play a much slower, more by the books, actually even slower than by the books opening here on Courtyard.
By the books, in one of the few venues there are no books. What's really striking to me about these Legorve games is that I can understand him wanting to lean into frames and play a little atypically against such a good sniper, but he's just making his moves so late in the game, like confusingly late, and I know Legorve is a better spy than that.
Standing bug on the Kane side. Opie gets one for free. The most difficult part of the venue on spy side is now done. If he gets a difficult fingerprint for this, I'm going to lose my mind. He got a difficult fingerprint off of this. This might be a silent game.
He's tried to do it 3 times. He did it pub, and I think it was on Modern as well. Ended up winning on a civ shot. Wasn't necessary, but Opie's been big on the silent games. I don't know. The bug was visible, but I don't think Legorve was... I think he was at exactly the wrong angle. He was exactly orthogonal to the spy and the bug, and that is the one angle from which you're going to have trouble seeing that.
51% on the flirt. 1 fingerprint done, and a difficult at that. Bug in pocket already. Minute and 20 to play. Has not been to statues. You could just go full statueless this game if you can find a print off of a drink or something like that.
Certainly could. You know, we all know about
there
Kane's
technically
walking
is
bug.
a print on the drink right now.
We all know about Kane's walking bug, but that standing bug is actually very noticeable with a strong lean if you're watching from in front or behind. But when you're watching from the side like Legorve was at that moment, it's actually very hard to see.
That's the flirt done in 2, into conversation. No, just right past that conversation with the double agent. 45 seconds to play. Now we step in to try to get this contact, but the shot comes off. Legorve, somehow on top of things, is going to hold Opie to split that venue.
It's just like Pub again, where we think Opie gets this great bug, and we're not sure how much Legorve suspects it, and it turns out at the end, he either really does or is just willing to take a borderline shot, and he's right both times and maintains the lead.
I mean, that's such a spy thing to do, though, like go into that window right next to the conversation you want to go into, which is full.
Yeah, but he's
and
not
then
shooting for that. I mean, right? Like, he must have suspected the bug more.
Yeah, but I mean, but like that's got to have triggered the shot. Like, there's no reason to shoot now, you know, because there's no missions being done yet.
Right.
Either way, Legorve Genine still with a 4-game lead, stepping in to Gallery as the spy in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And Opie is running out of time.
Running out of time indeed. 14 points for a win, 13 for overtime. Legorve has already hit double digits and gotten himself highlight for whatever the heck this positioning is.
I mean, we just kind of crammed our way in there, and I think we might be hoping to get one of those like across the conversation bugs, but of course the ambassador did not stick around, as they often don't, because that conversation back there is very full and it's very hard not to crowd them.
34% off of the first flirt on a close white. That conversation is very full, but we do have the suspected double agent back here, which means the real one is not going to join us. And it looks like Legorve Genine, well, for a moment it looked like he was going to wait for a timer flirt there, but does wind up stepping away.
Once again, Legorve may be thinking, hey, I can snipe my way to victory here. I'm going to keep putting the pressure on Opie with these mind games, try to get a civ shot, because if I get one more civ shot, this is all but over.
Looking for a difficult print on the case. Gets it while walking, too. That's a big pickup.
I mean, look, the ATs are always a little tough, but doing it while walking, while maintaining accurate briefcase mechanics, pretty tough.
Still has that drink in hand. I think maybe only one sip on it as well. Nope, that was the last sip. So, most likely looking for another flirt here, but with 2 minutes left to play, and again, very little progress. Legorve is playing very, very slow at the start, with the opening half of these spy games.
Yeah, very. I mean, dedicated to it. And I think having already scored those 2 spy wins is part of it. I'm just going to take those like big risk maneuvers, try to win one coin flip or something like that. And that's going to be it, because I can just snipe my way to victory. And he's looked really sharp on the sniper right now.
In conversation with the double agent here, waiting for a few people to settle down, but the person who doesn't settle down is the double agent.
And seduction targets and double agents moving when you don't want them to on gallery is a constant problem. 2 timeouts.
That's a double watch check.
Yep,
A
one
and a
white
green.
test, then a green. Yep, this is really big.
So that brings the clock up to 2.5 minutes. Lots of time for Legorve Genine to work, and it doesn't look like Opie suspects a thing as of yet.
Hard to say, and it's not clear what Opie would do if he did suspect it. There's Legorve again, taking that path by the Amba. An intermediate or beginner would shoot you for it, but against an expert sniper, you lose a little heat.
Into conversation out front with the seduction target. A distant positioning, though. Man, Legorve really using all of the time they possibly can. We're back down to 2 minutes to play and still don't have a single mission completion and only the one flirt. Green on the second flirt brings us up to 66. That is just barely in range for the 3 flirt if we get a close white on the next. But Legorve is fast running out of time, even with 2 timeouts to play with.
This is fine. Legorve is totally fine with this. The idea is to be mentally taxing on the sniper, not only because you have a lead, but because it's gallery, because the game is long, and because it's getting later in a long set at the end of a tournament that your opponent, by the way, is also running. So Mental taxation is the name of the game here. Tire them out, hope they make one more mistake, and even if they don't, you might snipe your way to victory. I think this is a very sensible way to approach this from Legorve, whether it works or not.
Into the blue bookcase we go to finish up this fingerprint. That's our first mission completion with 1:10 on the clock. I don't think they're going to finish. I don't think they're going to try to finish.
No, and I don't think they have to. And this, even if they lose this, it could pay dividends. Again, mental taxation. It's going to get harder and harder as the match goes on. OpiWrites has a lot of focus, has played some of their best SpyParty at the ends of long matches, but they're human, right? On net, it's going to be harder.
There's the flirt done with 45 seconds to play. Not into the beep beeps yet, but Legorve Genine just has so few outs as far as missions are concerned, and Opie seems to be holding his nerve.
Yeah, this is actually, we've crossed some very important thresholds after those time ads for Opie that make a sieve shot way less likely, but one suspicious person walks by the Amber.
It's going to be a green death purloin. This could be the business.
If you don't crash bug, though, you're not going to get there. No one's going to take it in time to trigger overtime, though. We did this too late again, and we're going to have to crash bug. It's the only way.
Oh, dear.
I don't see how this is going to work.
Even if it gets taken, it's not going to be overtime. There's the bug coming across on the way through. Opie didn't see it.
It's a pretty good one. It's a pretty good one.
It's going to be hanging.
Here
I
comes
think
the
Legorve may have just made the play he needed at the waning moment.
Another reject.
How
a highlight, I think, is going to take it.
What's going on?
It's ponytail again.
Distract.
Banana bread.
Who's going to get shot? It's not going to be Legorve, I don't think.
It's
trying to shoot ponytail.
OpiWrites isn't able to track it. That was such an incredible play by Legorve Genine at the end of that game. Gets themselves to 11, almost double positive at this point.
3 ponytail frames, and 2 of them work. That is crazy. That is a huge win. The Summer Cup is not over, but the summer's getting a little chilly. Let's put it that way. Yeah.
There's a cool little extra play by Legorve, which was he was trying to preempt the purloin by doing a BB. Like, and he started it before the double agent entered the conversation. But the purloin happened just before anyway.
I mean, that's as risky as it is smart sometimes. It's not really clear whether it's better or worse, but I've been known to do it myself. We did technically get 5 missions in the end there, by the way. Wow, that is a little tilting. OpiWrites has got to come back right now.
From the spy side of gallery as well. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
I mean, Legorve has just been lights out as sniper, taken some calculated risks as spy, has not tried to get things by Opie. What do you do against a sniper? It's hard to get things by. You just try to get someone else shot, I guess.
And it seems to be working very nicely indeed. Opie picking up a quick flirt at the green bookcase. Off the top of the game, it's 34%.
We don't have good cover for a microfilm here, even if we wanted it. There's just a gap in the conversation there, and Opie, I think, surmises as much. They might have wanted to rush there, but it just wasn't lining up.
Doesn't wind up trying things too much. Book goes back where it came from, and Opie takes an unusual path. Usually you don't see spies do stuff like that. So when a character walks through the middle of a conversation like that, just sort of in front of one of the people, weaving through the others, it's usually an AI, but in that case, there was no reason.
There's a purloin. There's a purloin and a missed green fingerprint.
Oh my. Yeah, that's just a shot. That's just a shot of the purloin straight up. Tried to go for a fake contact to try to distract, but with an SDA in there and a little bit too late either way.
And Legorve can absolutely taste it now. So close.
Double positive. It's 12-6. Legorve Genine 1 game away from forcing overtime, 2 games away from claiming the cup, and OpiWrites with an absolute mountain to climb going into Veranda in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
We've seen him climb that before, though. OpiWrites has got a little spelunker in him for sure, but you don't want to have to do it again. And frankly, no disrespect to Death Tacticus or any of the players or Urander that he's played before. Legorve is one of the best snipers he's ever had to go up against in a final.
Isn't spelunking the opposite of climbing?
Spelunky's caves. Either way.
Excuse me, I'm using the actual word, you video game heads. Believe it or not, it was a word before it was a video game. Spelunky is the game. Spelunking is a dictionary word. There's a microfilm, by the way.
Yeah, spelunking is cave delving. Mountaineering is what you're thinking of. Either way, 34% on the flirt. Blue microfilm in pocket.
You don't think he's underground right now?
The seduction target one more time as well. This time it's a green flirt to get us up to 82%.
I don't know. I think when he was down to 9-3 to your end, it wasn't just a mountain. He was underground when he started kind of climbing the mountain. So
you know what? I'll take that.
Yeah, I'll take it. This time, I agree, though. He's probably at roughly sea level now. This isn't a 9-game deficit. But 6 against Legorve, when Legorve is playing like this,
Can you print on the green bookcase?
So tough.
Yeah, Legorve is playing incredible SpyParty right now. So that's a print at the green bookcase and the second half of the shenanigans. Shenanigans. He's just standing there behind the conversation reading a book.
Doing it again.
What is happening? All right, it's going to be a briefcase. It's going to be a difficult, and it's not going to be the green test on it, so still
I'm not sure what... Maybe hoping for the rotation. I think the ambassador was heading out to the other side, and I think if they'd kept going, maybe he would have said, okay, we know Opie's going to stay with the Amba, so I'm going to do the microfilm then, and then when it doesn't quite happen, we think better of it and take the print instead.
May well be, yeah. In conversation with the double agent now. Just over 2 minutes to play. Just under 2 minutes to play.
So Legorve, we've seen him just like really slow play with this lead so far, and that's not quite what's happening now though, because you can see there's partial progress across 3 different missions right now, so still got a lot of ways to finish. I think Legorve is learning a little bit. They're saying, you know, I can keep slow playing with this lead, I can still lean into that, force difficult decisions, but I'm going to give myself a slightly better chance to get to mission win countdown again, especially after getting to it last time resulted in another Civ shot.
Definitely starting to up the pace a little bit. Double agent bails on us, so we're not able to quite get that going yet. But back into the green bookcase we go. This is where we're going to have to do the animation part of this transfer if we want to finish this mission right now. And with 1:10 left, I think we do. There it goes. It is green.
No
Opie on top of things. The shot comes off. And that's how you've got to start this if you want to make a comeback.
Yeah, how do you get out of a cave? One step at a time. And that was not the timing for it, by the way. The list was on that side, the AMBA was on that side, and we were the third at shelves. You can't do it then. I know you're running out of time, but you just can't do it then.
Yeah, just ran out of time. Felt like he had to have a go for it. It was ill-advised as OpiWrites steps into the spy side of Veranda in 3, 2, 1, playing it. I feel like we're not seeing... Never mind!
Immediate bug, immediate bug. Legorve! No, wait a second. Wait, Legorve's camera, I think he saw it. It was a happy little nod. Yes, he did! He knows! We got to 13. He knows it's going to be at least overtime, and I think he knows he's about to take this. Look at the happy little nod. The victory nod.
Oh my god, that was such a good early bug, but I feel like Legorve Genine is starting every game by just locating the ambassador and staring them down for a few seconds, because Opie is known for this.
Wow.
One game away. Legorve Genine on the cusp of victory versus a truly terrifying player in OpiWrites. It's Library, it's Opie on the sniper in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
6 tournament points, 6 chances to give Opie his 3rd consecutive runner-up finish in the Summer Cup.
This is AI control.
I mean, why not? You can do anything weird now, and Opie has to be perfect. He has to pick up on whatever crazy crap you throw for all these games, and even if it doesn't work, you've got 3 chances to snipe him for the win, and one of them's going to be on Library, which historically, Opie has had a lot of trouble even getting to countdown on. I know he's a better spy than he was the last time I mentioned that stat, but generally speaking, this has not been one of his better venues as spy.
Okay, but this is AI control as Smallman.
For now. I'm pretty sure we're going to take control at some point.
It's only Smallman for now.
You can throw away several of these games and you're still a massive, massive favorite.
Absolutely. In conversation with the double agent at this point, but also still under AI control. You're just going to let Opie stew. Let them try to force them to get jumpy. Finally, Legorve takes control, just as the double agent bails, by the way.
Yeah, and this game doesn't even really matter. It really doesn't, and Legorve knows it doesn't, and Opie just has to snipe anyway. And he probably, at this point, realizes that Legorve is either just going to do some really cheesy crash stuff or just wait him out, and wait him out seems like a better choice on Library. But this is not what it's about. It's about how do you find spy wins against Legorve's sniper today, where he just seems totally, totally on.
Double agent rejoins conversation. Legorve doesn't want any part of it. This might be just very, very idling. Just look at how not doing stuff I am. Go shoot someone else, please.
Yeah. I mean, why not? You can just try anything here. It doesn't matter how low percentage it is. Again, you have 2 more chances at this as spy. You have 3 as sniper. You're on Library as sniper, and you haven't lost all day. This game this might as well be a victory lap, potentially.
May well be. Here's the contact coming off. In with the real double agent, which surprises me a little bit.
I think you just get a really good contact in general. You keep the number of suspects high, and you just kind of see what happens. That's all you're trying to do really here, is maximize the contact and then maybe do something just vaguely cheesy at the end.
Speaking of vaguely cheesy, print off of yellow and pulls the book away.
And we were not on screen for that, because
No,
the list
we were
was
not.
on the other side, and the ambassador was on the left side middle, and that's when you do that kind of thing.
First flirt comes off for 51%. Legorve, after that idle first half of the game, is moving pretty quick.
I like it. And look, even though everyone knows that it's a good time to do something like that when other missions like the guest list, like the ambassador on the other side, it doesn't matter if the sniper knows that it's a good maneuver, because they still have to choose.
Yeah, you still have to guard the ambassador in the list.
I mean, everybody knows that you use contact sometimes to distract from a purloin or a bug or something like that, but it's still effective, even when the sniper knows that's what's going on. It's just a clear trade where you have to decide one thing or another, so there's really no defense for it other than whipping your camera around and hoping you time it just right.
Minute and 15 on the clock. There's the 2 flirt done. Those have been few and far between this set.
Oh, if we find a print here and we're not a huge suspect, Legorve has a chance to win this right here, right now. That would be such a tough shot, and with all these civ shots, Opie's going to be so loath to take an uncertain shot here on Library.
Legorve has played such an incredible match so far.
Yeah, I was going to say poor Opie keeps running into people playing out of their minds in the finals, but it's the finals. They got to the finals. Of course they're playing out of their minds. That's
Green time ad and immediately away. Legorve Genine making good use of Smallman business. All the way back to yellow we go with this, though, so we're not doing any microfilmery.
More pressure on Opie. He is a mental tax collector for all the taxation he's doing here.
One minute to play now. Side statues. No inspect taken as of yet, but that's just a green swap.
We're just leaning into this.
That's just a green swap.
We're behind Seek. We're semi-visible. I think Opie's going to get this one, though.
I think so.
Oh, no. He's moving elsewhere.
He took a really close look at that statue when Legorve put it down.
Oh, this is going to be such a tough shot either way when this comes off. For the tournament.
Print on the briefcase.
Here comes the swap.
Checking that statue.
Seek's going to take it. It's seen.
There's countdown.
He's thinking about it.
There
He's
it is.
thinking about it.
That's the correct shot. And OpiWrites stays alive for now.
Such a tough shot back and forth. You could see him think, I have to coin flip for my tournament. You have no choice. But it came up right. He got it. He's still alive. But that wasn't the game that mattered.
There are going to be a lot. Well, for OpiWrites, all of them are the game that mattered.
Mm-hmm. Here we go.
At this point, if you're Opie, it's do or die every single time. And now they've got the spy side on library, which could be very good for Opie considering Opie, but also has been getting very shut down early on when he tries to do stuff in these games. Let's see what happens in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And this is the tough one for Opie. Again, historically has had a lot of trouble reaching countdown or reaching pad. Not that it matters. It still looks pretty okay over there.
That may well have been the earliest bug I have seen in my entire life. Oh my god, Opie, how do you do this?
I mean, it's actually kind of liberating when you're down this much against a good player, because you just have to try stuff.
34% off the first flirt in the blue bookcase.
I mean, Opie's been caught for early bugs twice. Both of them were very good, and he says, no. With my tournament on the line, let's try for number 3. It's gutsy. It's gutsy. Oh, that is so Opie. Flirt, lead.
Yeah.
You get caught on even one of these and the tournament's over, though. So what we know is that when Opie's back is against a wall in a final, he becomes more Opie-like.
Yes.
He becomes the most concentrated version of himself.
Legorve was really shutting this stuff down all game long, but Opie is now leaning in, and suddenly it's working. We've got 2 flirts done. We're at 85%. We've got the bug done already. We're well ahead of clock by this point.
We've already seen 2 games, though, where we thought Opie might have gotten away with the bug, and Legorve shot him in the end anyway. We don't know how sure he was. We don't know if those were tough shots for Legorve or not, but I'm not reacting too much either way, based on how Legorve has done this before. I have the champagne ready on ice just in case, because Legorve might already have this and we wouldn't even know.
There's the flirt done. Still so much time to work with, too.
Yeah, absolutely, but Legorve knows that. Legorve knows he can wait him out.
And Opie seems more than happy to take his time until the ambassador comes by to say hi, and Opie's like, no, I've already done that. I want to not be near you right now.
There's nothing worse than an ambassador you've already bugged. Just, please, anywhere else.
In conversation with the seduction target, but already has that mission done, so at this point, really just hanging out and letting the clock run down. Stop it, ambassador! I do not want.
I mean, in a normal game like this, I'll be like, all right, lots of chances to bug, but we got that done within 3 seconds, so not welcome. Do not want.
Into center statue we go.
Okay, I'm thinking maybe inspect green swap, contact while the green swap is about to pend. I'm thinking maybe.
It's possible. There was a print here.
Uh-oh. A white test on the first inspect might change those plans. You don't want to risk
Green
this. Are
on
we
the
going to go for it?
second, hits the third, gets it done in 2 cycles. It was tight, but it did happen.
Print contact is the name of the game, and the ambassador has a blue book. Let's see if they put it back down. They don't.
This briefcase, though, very much available. Opie was obligated
Big moment
to
here.
take
It's a difficult.
That. It is difficult. Can't
Oh!
hit it.
Huge, especially if Legorve was not ready to shoot for that, which I guess he isn't. But the contact is the crucible. The contact could be when the tournament ends.
Well, first you need the double agent to get into conversation if you're going to do that. Into blue bookcase we go.
The print attempt, another moment it could all come tumbling down.
That's the print done. Legorve Genine does seem to be hanging around Opie a lot at this point, with little over a minute to play, 4 missions in the books, contact available.
Here it
is. This is where it all goes down.
It's Ponytail too. Who else? We're right next to Ponytail, the star of the show.
That woman has been everywhere this set, and never to Opie's, always to Opie's detriment, rather.
He's waiting.
45 seconds.
He's waiting. She can't leave. You need to do it soon. You're tempting fate.
There it
It's
is.
a white.
Banana bread.
There's the contact. Low lights, low lights, low lights.
Low
That
lights,
means probably
low
no
lights.
shot.
Do we have a mission win on library?
3
Oh,
seconds.
wow.
Legorve not taking it. Opie stays alive again.
Onward and upward. This is so close. We're on to Tayen now. Legorve's doubled pick. Still at tournament point.
Man, as soon as Opie starts winning in a situation like this, you've got to start believing with the man's track record.
Let's go.
Now
I
here
can't
he
wait to
is
see.
on the sniper side of Legorve's doubled venue. This is not going to be easy to do, but if anyone can do it, it's Opie. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Oh man, statue's completely covered. Not what you want is Spy, but you still have Tayen, and it's just such a tough venue. Opie's played it really well, gotten very good at it over the last couple of seasons, last couple of tournaments, but you still just have no margin for error, none at all.
It's 34% off the first flirt, but in conversation with the double agent as well. In a decent spot if we want to take any reverse drive-by bugs, but the drink could make that tricky.
Banana bread.
Here's the contact coming off. That's a
good one.
Pretty good contact too. Lets off 2 low lights.
Wow, really good, really good. And the SDA's in the other conversation and everything, and our flirt is mostly done. This is quite a solid start from Legorve.
Yeah, 85% after that second green.
It's a bug.
Oh my god.
Opie
Oh
is
my
not.
god, it's happening.
There is
It's a
not
good
any
bug,
noticeable,
too.
no noticeable reaction from Opie, at least. In fact, he's really guarding the Embo really, really hard. Still.
That's a very good sign.
But do you want to go to center? Because you assume the bug on Tayen sometimes. It's hard not to. When someone finishes those inspects on Tayen, has a real contact, was anywhere near the ambassador, sometimes that's enough, but can you bet the tournament on it? The problem is, Opie's got to bet the tournament every single game now.
Well, that's a flirt done. 1 mission to go.
Purloin.
The question is, where is it going to
It's a green
come from?
purloin!
It's a green
We're in the back.
purloin!
This could be it!
It's all on the reject chain now.
Or does it stay behind Shoji? It's purloined by the cast, it's Omen, but it's not
Oh
visible!
my.
It's not visible on screen!
Oh boy!
This is gonna be it! Did we break you, Tobo? Did we break Tobo?
Oh my god.
We broke you! That was it! That was the clinch!
Wow. Oh my god, Legorve Genine.
What's more impressive, people? That Legorve just did that, or that we made Tobo speechless? I don't know. You're seeing a first here, either way. Legorve with the Purloin bug combo, not suspected for the bug at all, I don't think, is the winner of the 9th Summer Cup. Opie relegated to second place 3 years in a row.
What a game. What a match from Legorve Genine. That man just played some of the best SpyParty, especially from the sniper side, I have seen in a very long time.
The only spy win he gave up was a library spy win at the end, which was very impressive, but it was an excellent spy game, and it was in a situation where he knew he could wait it out and did not have to take chancy shots.
And he took some insane shots, too.
He was all over the bugs.
There were some games where it looked like Opie had won, but freaking Legorve Genine absolutely on top of things.
Tremendous match. So often these finals come down to one sniper just being completely on their game, playing lockdown. That is usually the winner.
Well played.
Well played to both. And Opie, hey, he didn't come back, but he really fought back at the end there. That library spy win was the reminding everyone why he's here. Basically, that's what that win was.
Yeah, absolutely.
Impressive stuff.
Truly incredible stuff from both players. It's been an absolute honor.
Yeah, it's been great to be here, guys.
So that, I suppose, is going to do it for us and do it for the SpyParty Summer Cup.
Yeah, I guess so. Oh, I see what happened. I don't know what happened here. I ended up in... somehow my OBS had reset at some point, and I was in the wrong thing. Here we go. This is the correct scene. I was wondering why everything had switched around at some point. Anyhow, although you can ignore the part where there's more Summer Cup casts because, well, this is the last one for this year anyway.
There will be more Summer Cup casts, just not until next summer.
Yes. Yes. next summer should be good. And I don't know what other things are coming up. I mean, other than the SCL, I assume is going to be starting soon now that this is over.
That's going to be a good time.
Yep. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and thank you, Warning Track. Warning Track just had to take off. Thankfully, this match ended just in time. And so that, we got to see that crazy ending. And all right, anything else? I don't know. I'm kind of out of things to say here.
Just the usual housekeeping at the end of streams. This has been SpyParty. If you don't have it yet and would like to, you can get it either on Steam for $25 or at SpyParty.com for also $25, but you still get a Steam key and Checker gets more money.
Yep. All right, and thank you all. I think that is it. Thank you, Tobo, and also thank you, Corvus, who was just about ready to step in when Legorve took the win, but
It's been a pleasure.
Always good. And thank you all for watching. We will be back whenever there's something else to cast. See ya.